Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. And I know I haven't been dropping a lot of shows lately and people have been asking why. So there's a couple things that are really disturbing to me. One, Instagram trolls don't seem to know when a woman is interested and when she is not. So let me start there. Really. And then secondly, I haven't had an awful lot of free time lately. I've been back in the lab cooking up this piece because I don't actually have um, much of a huge chemistry background, but what I do have and bring to the table is an organic chemistry background as a former licensed herbalist that has actually practiced herbal medicine in the state of Minnesota. So I just want to drop that. Feel free to comment if you need further clarification. I am a third degree, 3 separate degrees, in fact, in herbalism, organic chemistry, and Chinese medicine, in case you were wondering. I have, again, been licensed to practice here in my state. I'm a third generation herbal practitioner within my family, and I do extensive research to be able to provide you legitimate um, pieces as well as legitimate facts. So I want to address something, okay? One of the things that really is starting to bug me about the portrayal of what women in Iran are going through within the Western media is that a lot of you out there in the Western media, and yeah, you're going to catch me calling a lot of you out on my channel from time to time, whether you like it or not, is that there's an awful lot of people out there that are like all over the place, from CNN to CNBC to NBC to all of the majors. I see you guys and I see what you're doing, and I don't approve. There's a base level of homework done and a base level of reporting done without the actual research being done on effective, quick antidotes. And that is why I decided to, jump back in the ring after, I don't know, a month or two hiatus of completing anything here on my channel. Hi, I'm Daisha. I am a Magyar. I am part Persian. Welcome to my channel. So we're going to talk in depth today about the gas attacks on women in schools in Iran, because I'm getting a little tired of seeing this kind of stuff happening all over the globe right now to women. And another thing that's really just kind of disturbing is that there's an awful lot of people here right now on YouTube, and some of you actually do pay attention to my channel and some of my socials, and I want to approach these things because this is just not cool. Okay? So while y'all are out here trying to absolutely utterly destroy feminism for the conservative right, um meanwhile, women are in fact still dying in prison cells in Iran and not being allowed education as children all over Tehran in all kinds of public school structures that serve specifically female children and some male children as well are in fact being gassed right now by chemical toxins. And I'm just going to jump right into that because that's something that I feel very strongly about. It's something that should not be happening. It's something that I think by and large would disturb any mother, whether she's a former educator or not. Um, by and large, whether she has practiced herbal medicine or been licensed to practice herbal medicine or not. So I don't know how much you've seen on the news, but several different schools have been hit within the construct of the past few months. Um, I think Manat wants to say something about that. My cat is sitting right here in my lap. One of the things that I keep just rolling around in my head about um, is the base level of reporting, again, from the majors in the US media. Like, literally, people are doing tons of pieces, but not really offering any, like, legit or offering any relevant and genuine answers to the problems. So that's where I came in. And that's where I'm going to start with this piece. Um, Several attacks, several different schools all over Tehran, specifically those that young women and young girls attend. This could be, the beginning of a disturbing new trend. So I don't know how much many of you know about sarin. They started using at a military level sarin gas attacks in the Iraq War. Many of a lot of our family members did in fact serve and served in that specific war, including family members of my own family. So that, by and large, is where the context for this whole thing really kind of started. I mean, sarin's been used, sarin, mustard gas, nabun gas. There's a couple of different types of gases that have been used chemically, militarily, specifically for very divisive purposes. They are neurotoxins. So basically, in essence, upon contact to the intended victim, neurotoxins actually have the general effect of completely decapacitating an individual within 5, say 10 minutes. Um, I am about to start crying. I'm not sure who on the planet decided that this was an appropriate thing to do to school children, but furthermore, I'm not sure who decided that it was appropriate for the Western media to cover it at a very base level and not actually give any appropriate real response to possible antidotes or possible ways to counteract sarin, because there are several. Um, so antidotes to toxic nerve gases run the entire scale of capability. There are many, actually, at least 3 that I know of off the top of my head in nature, in fact, that do in fact come from herbal sources as well. So I want this piece to get out there to as many people as possible. And I hope to, some of my Persian friends, to some of my community that are in fact in the Middle East, and some of you that watch my channel, that you help get this information out as quickly as possible to the appropriate sources in a timely manner. Antidotes are atropine, pralidoxime, and chloride. So the chemical equation makeup looks exactly like 2-PAM-CI. In case you're wondering, and I will drop it in a link below this video, 2-PAM-CI must be administered within minutes to a few hours following exposure to remain effective. Atropine should be administered every 5 to 10 minutes until secretions dry up. These antidotes are usually contained within military Mark I kits. If said kits are unavailable, they can in fact be purchased en masse on the net. Most military suppliers will have them. So you heard it here. That's right. Hit up your military suppliers and supply chains for Mark I kits if you happen to be administering aid to some of the children that have been being hit by sarin attacks. So there are a lot of retailers subsequently right here on the internet even that actually do supply large amounts of atropine available to the public as well. GoodRx, CVS, Walgreens, Blink Health, and CentralDrug.net are just some of the options if you care to perhaps financially provide to those that are administering atropine to children that are in fact involved in these attacks. Victim-wise, children should not ever be even considered. So this is by and large, the end result of, I want to say, years and years of, different variant types of experiments gone terribly wrong, among other things. Um, some of the natural sources, for those that are curious and don't have direct access to the internet, which I do know that some of your internet resources in different parts of Iran have been blinking in and out for y'all lately. And you might want to thank not just like your government for some of those problems, but also, you know, some of the problems that your government is creating with other what they consider adversarial governments, including the US. And I'm sitting here in the US as someone who is ethnically part Persian, looking at this from the outside is like, this is really all quite scary. Nobody is expecting or should be expecting sarin gases and sarin gas attacks on babies. Um, it's kind of disturbing stuff deep down when you think about it at a very deep level. So, again, for those of you that are back home in Tehran or different parts of Iran, and you're wondering if you don't have access to the net and cannot find or order large amounts of atropine, one of my suggestions herbally would be small doses of different parts of the belladonna plant, jimson weed, and mandrake. Now, all of these plants, as a former herbalist, have certain amounts of toxicity if taken in large amounts. So I want to just throw that warning out there to my public in advance, because I would in no way, shape, or form suggest that you treat children with large amounts of mandrake or belladonna or jimson. The most effective way to dilute the chemical extracts that you need from these plants would be to mix them with alcohol. Now, I know a lot of you are also practicing Muslims, so alcohol kind of generally tends to go out the window and out the picture in said case. So I need you to think outside of the box of Islam for even just a small minute for the health and safety of your children. You can, in fact, dilute belladonna with alcohol. The atropine substance that you are seeking actually is one of the first uh, to separate from the plant during alcohol distillation. I'm not sure about jimson because I don't actually have knowledge with that particular plant in regards to the distillation process, but I think your chances with mandrake are about 50-50 because it's a little harder to distill through alcohol processing the actual chemical compound that you're looking for. So it will take longer with mandrake than it would, I think, belladonna. And now jimson, again, I haven't really experienced a first-hand alcohol distillation regarding the atropine substance with. So that is my information, and that is directly what I want to get out there to some of my people in the Persian community that I still love and respect and trust. Um, Also, if you're looking right now and shopping around the internet for atropine, one of the things that I need to address is that it's roughly around, I think, $88 for a supply of 100 milliliters of atropine. So it can be fairly expensive ish if you're looking to buy in large quantity. But my suggestion is that possibly within the construct of the Anon community or within the YouTube community or the general internet community, if you genuinely care about the Ummah, if you genuinely care about Muslim women's rights issues around the planet right now, if you genuinely care about Muslim children right now, anywhere on the planet, let alone in Iran, please understand that these chemical attacks that have been taking place in Tehran are the first wave. And my understanding is a lot of adversarial nations are planning, unfortunately, to use series after series of chemical attacks regarding the general state of warfare and psychological warfare on civilian populations. Yeah, you heard it here first. That's right. It's scary stuff. Uh, kind of scary times in this day and age that we are in fact approaching. And I love you all. I respect you all. I hope to God that we make it out of this alive and in one piece. If any of this information even helps to save one single solitary little girl in Tehran, in a school, today, I will have effectively done my job. If you're paying attention to my channel and you're wondering how I know about the series of chemical attacks and how they're being interdisposed throughout different